One more experience I'll cite here, and an interesting one for me. I will never forget the first time I visited Stonehenge. Now, Stonehenge is down on the plain near Sarum, and I was fortunate enough to visit there. This would have been about 1975, before the British government had put 15-foot chain-link fences all around it and built-in ramps for the tour buses and all that chaos. It was still in its natural state, and they had to do all kinds of stuff because people were carrying Stonehenge away, one pebble at a time. That's another story. But I remember the first time I went there, and it was really quite unplanned. I had no control over this. The travel schedule that we were on was such that in order to get where we were going to go, if this is Tuesday, this must be, that kind of situation. The travel plan that we were on meant that we had to get up early and go out and see Stonehenge at about 5 o'clock in the morning. Never occurred to me that that was a particularly propitious time to visit Stonehenge. There was a low swirling fog on the ground. The sky was leaden, slatish gray, just beginning to lighten in the east. And I want you to know that the hair on the back of my neck stood straight up. Even the little hairs on my arms, and they don't usually do that unless somebody sneaks a piece of liver into something that I'm eating without telling me in advance, and I get a similar reaction. I've got a real aversion there. It was electric. I don't know, in this case, what I was meeting. It wasn't transparent enough for me to say, aha, the great Mogu or Cloven Bullfoot or whoever it was. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Yahweh, because I don't think Yahweh hangs out at Stonehenge. But it was a devastating, devastating electrical experience of something strange and uncanny and scary. And at the time, at any rate, I didn't want anybody to tell me, well, you had a pint too much last night, or, something of the sort. It seemed to me to be very real indeed. Well, what's the point of all this? If it's possible for people to become directly aware of the divine, or of the beyond, or of the other, or of the supernatural, then maybe it's possible for those experiences to become the basis out of which detailed religious accounts and stories and theologies are woven. And so one doesn't start with some other properly basic set of assumptions, the meaning of is and the meaning of most perfect and so on, and reason your way to God, or so this account would have us believe. One starts with that encounter with God and using that as the premise set, the encounter itself, then reason your way to a complete and full-fledged religious interpretation and understanding of the world. As Alvin Plantinga has said, you have to start somewhere. Those who know that there is a God usually start when they meet him.